So right now you want me to speak to the LRE and who we are. Well, more than anything, LRE is a teaching company, and what we do is we hold people's hands through the real estate process. Our main goal always is to make sure that you get a perfect understanding.
Hello family, how y'all doing today? It's Haywood Barber on the Haywood Barber Show, also known as the Harlem Heretic, coming at you. Let me tell you something. I am happy. I'm feeling much better than yesterday. Yesterday was a rough day. I know y'all heard the show and I got through it, and it's been the first time since I've been doing a series of these episodes on the Haywood Barber Show that I've had a crisis. And I know that's going to happen again, and it's just going to be, pray for me, because I don't want to do that anymore. That was a little bit over the top, and yesterday was a rough day. But thankfully, typically my episodes, and not my episodes on the show, but my sickle cell episodes normally last about 72 hours, especially when I have a fierce one. Yesterday by no means was fierce, and I thank God even for that. But today we're going to rock and roll. I got some good information, some good insight for you, and we're going to touch on the politics tip. And we're going to go there. That's my theme song. I think that's what I'm going to make as my intro and my outro. That song right there, that beat, I own that beat. It was developed for me by Brother Michael Muhammad. I have to give him his homage. He actually raps on it too. I didn't put in his rap today. I put it on before. I'm going to put it on again. He did a phenomenal job. It's just absolutely outstanding how with the beat. And then he rapped about our real estate investment training company and what it's done for him and a few other people. And it was just off the chain. I gotta give it up to him because it's just unbelievable to me. Quite frankly, it was more like a miracle. And everybody that was involved with our real estate investment training company at the time said the same thing. That he just hit right on everything. It was hitting on all cylinders. But as usual, when you come to this show, I like to get out of the way right away. The I love you. The I love you. It's real. I love my audience. I love whoever this reaches, how far it goes. I know that I've been in deficit of hearing the word. Now, most of us have somebody that we know that loves us, but the deficit comes from hearing the I love you. So, because I'm not trying to say that I'm not probably the only person in the world that you can come to and get an I love you. Nah, we know that's not true. But I want you to know that you can come here and hear it, the words, I love you. And when I say that with all sincerity, not even knowing you. Some of you I know, some of you I've been in contact with on Facebook, some of you are my family and friends from Wagner and Holy Rosary. And I grew up in the projects. Wagner, I make reference to it only as Wagner, but Wagner Houses. It's a project, and it's one of the bigger ones in Manhattan, in New York City, and my building blocks came from Wagner. In addition to my mother and my father and my immediate family, my godfather, godmother, and all those kind of people, I mean, I learned probably just as much or more from my project family. So I'm here to tell you I love you. So I know how to love someone that's not a part of my blood family, and I know that some people believe that that's the only group of people that can love you, or somebody that you are intimate in a relationship with. And I'm here to tell you that in some cases, those are the least amount of love that you're getting. And I know that some people, that's what they believe is the only way that they can get loved, and they show love that way. And I'm not going to get into this today, because I can sure enough I can do a whole 30-minute episode absolutely nonstop on the title of a book that I'm writing. I'm in the midst of writing it, called He's Lying. And it completely blows the lid off of what fellas will do in order to get that thing. We know about what that thing is. Lauryn Hill made reference to it in her song some time ago. But today, we're not going to talk about that. I'm going to hit on health a little bit. And I'm going to hit on the mind, body, and the spirits, as in the title, right? But it's really the mind, body, and spirit. And the spirits we're going to break out into food and drinks, because that's make the reference in spirits. We're going to start out the night talking about politics, and we're going to break out into the right wing media. And we're going to even talk about Ashley Judd. She's actually one of my favorite actresses. Way below, of course, Kerry Washington and a few others. But she is one of my favorite. I would say that if I had to say actresses, female, she would be in the top 5. And I really enjoy her delivery. I'm somewhat of a critic. My son, Ian, oh my goodness, he's probably an over-the-top critic, but he knows what he's talking about. I'm a novice. But again, I come to you tonight feeling almost 90% better, not quite 100%, but I know it's because of your prayers that I recovered quicker than normal. And let me tell you, I've been dealing with sickle cell for almost 45 years, probably even before. I was diagnosed at 5. I had my first big episode at 5, but I might have had episodes prior to that. But I remember the one that I had at 5. So I remember having crises all through my life, hoping and praying that I would grow out of it, and never did. That's why I also ask each and every one of you that if you know somebody that has sickle cell, and I know that, I'm almost 50, I'll be 50 real soon. There's a lot of people that don't make it to that age. And I'm fully aware of that. But if you know somebody that has even the trait, SS, SC, tell them to come to this show so that they can get some love and they can get some inspiration. I have been I've had several different careers, and this is going to be my third serious concrete career that I'm delving into, and I expect to do 2 more before I turn 100. And then after that, retire at 100 and probably do my pass on going back to Essence somewhere around 110, 111. But that's only because, and I was fortunate enough, I tell this story quite frequently, that I was fortunate enough to have been to the hospital many times. And my parents, after a while, because I was a big boy, they let me start going when I was 13, 14, 15 years old by myself. So I had a good opportunity to meet and talk. I used to have to spend hours in the hospital while they do the diagnosis and the test and looking at my blood and all that other kind of stuff. So I had opportunities to meet with countless people and talk about their health and their illnesses. So we're gonna go into that, but I want to hit real quick politics, and I want to talk about my favorite guys: Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck, and Rush Limbaugh. I call them the Three Stooges, and if I haven't been, I am absolutely going to. I heard Rush Limbaugh today make reference to a young brother named Torre and called him a fool. So now the gloves are off. So I don't have to worry anymore about being delicate, being respectful of them, because they're not being respectful of me. I like Torre. Torre gives me inspiration. I've heard them even try to make bad references of Michael Bazin. I like Michael Bazin a great deal. Matter of fact, Michael Bazin is probably one of the number one reasons why I'm doing this show, because Michael Bazin told me, get off my, I can say this on the air, I get off my butt and get it done. Stop talking about it. Stop, Haywood, please. If you're gonna keep repeating what you're gonna do and not do anything, that makes you a coward. I can't even tell you the other things that he said, but what it makes me, and I got it. So I'm getting off of my tail, and I'm gonna get it done. I'm committed 5 years, and I thought of this last night when I said it, because I say it all the time, that I'm committing 5 years to being the best at doing podcasting, radio hosting, and bringing and sharing information with you, right? And I'm doing that because I love you, and I'm doing it because it's on my heart, and God put it on my heart to share, right? And I'm going to do that. So I'm not expecting it to be an overnight success. Don't even want it to be, because I know what overnight successes turn out to be ultimately. They wind up tanking and they go nowhere. I want to take my time and be great at this. I'm learning every day. Trust me, I'm on the air with you all doing this for 30 minutes straight. I intend to start doing an hour to maybe an hour and a half, perhaps. Or maybe an hour first, so 45 minutes first, then an hour. And all in gradual. But I intend to be great at it. And I don't expect to be great at it overnight. I don't want it that way. I want to be able to always have something to reach for. But the Three Stooges were off the hook today. Let me tell you something. And I'm not sure, and I don't want to say that it's just because President Obama is a black man that they are having absolute conniptions and cows. But I heard, and I don't have time to go into each one, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity. Let's just pick Sean Hannity for today. Usually when I get out and leave the house to go, do the things what I do with my parents, everything, because I'm down here in the South. I have to tell you about that one of these days too. But I'm down in the South, looking after my parents' affairs, try not to get too far into their business, but let them have some independence, but make sure that I at least, make sure they eat better meals, do better banking, take care of their affairs in a better manner. But anyway, listening to Sean Hannity today, first thing, they all are having a cow. Everybody's talking about the judges. Right now we have two big cases being litigated in front of the Supreme Court. One is DOMA, right, which is the Defensive Act, something with the military, and I'm not gonna pretend like I really know it all, but because I don't. And it's something with the military that President Clinton passed years ago, which he has now switched and changed his mind, and his wife as well, and President Obama, and many others on both sides of the aisle have changed. When I say both sides of the aisle, both conservative Republicans and liberal all the way through conservative Democrats have changed their position on gay marriage, and that's also being litigated in the Supreme Court. But these guys are absolutely having a cow for so many different reasons. But Sean Hannity not only having a cow about that, and President Obama changing his mind, and President Obama going on 3 or 4 vacations in the last, year, and so on and so forth. And look, let me tell you, I mean, they go on and on. I mean, and I hear it every day, and I do it for a couple of different reasons. I think it's completely entertaining, and I think that Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, and Glenn Beck, all of them, and I do have a little bit of respect for all of them to a certain degree, in that they have achieved a great deal, but I think that they are playing their listeners. They played, when I say playing, I mean their listeners like the Pied Piper. They are listening to them like Pied Pipers, and they are suckers. And they know that they are playing their listeners. They're not genuine to them, is really what I'm trying to say. But anyway, earlier on the Sean Hannity show, a white sister called, and apparently she calls a lot. Sean Hannity tried to put her in her place, and she was on her game. And see, this is what is so important strategically. When you call these guys, they have so much control over the equipment that they can run right over you. They can sound you out, let you in. They let you in when they want to. But this sister was clear on the game. She played chess all around Sean Hannity, where it had to shut him down by her saying, "You're talking about President Obama taking the vacations," but by this time, Bush had taken almost 3 times as many vacations, and the country was in a worse off situation, and he was running around on his ranch starting 2 wars and so on. I mean, she just like ripped him. So if you're going to if you need some good posturing type stuff, and this sister, I don't know if you would be able to hear it on YouTube, because you probably have to go too long into the show in order to get the whole thing, and that's not what I want you to do, because you'll wind up killing your car radio or YouTube or your computer. But she was well prepared, and she said, well, Bush did, and he got so upset with her that he wound up cutting off and saying, well, if you still want to talk about Bush, and if you still want to believe in Obama and him riding on his white horse and all this, I mean, just some of the most preposterous things. See, and if they have the monologue and they get the chance to just say what they want to say, who cares? But anyway, so the white sister, I give her kudos. I don't know her name, but I think it was Cindy, but she killed them. In politics as well, Ashley Judd. She was going to run for Mitch McConnell's seat, which, Mitch McConnell is the leader of the Senate right now, because is it the Senate? Matter of fact, he might be the minority leader of the Senate, but they are not in power. They're more members on the Democratic side than yeah, that's right. There are more members on the Democratic side in the Senate than Republicans. So the Republicans are not actually the leaders right now. But I think he is the minority leader, and his seat was going to be challenged by Ashley Judd, the actress, which I like a lot. That's in Kentucky for Senate. And she decided, and I'm sure this was some background scenery, she decided to drop out of it. And you're probably wondering, why is he telling us about Ashley Judd? Well, one, she's an actress, my show, I like her a little bit. And just so you know, if it does come up, why Ashley Judd dropped out, more than anything, the Clintons were behind another candidate that, if I'm not mistaken, is Colbert, the guy with the political satire show. His sister is running, that's being backed by the Clintons. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out at you. We can't go hard every night. But here we go. So we're going to talk about health, right? And I kind of stayed on this. Probably the show, 80% of it is going to be about health, right? You know that last night Yesterday I had the sickle cell crisis, so I did have to take pain medicine to manage it. And I used to didn't take any pain medicines at all. I mean, all the way up until probably just about 5 or 10 years ago. Man, 5 years ago, really. But I will take it because it doesn't make any sense. I used to try to play this macho thing, but it doesn't make sense for what goes on with my organs and everything going through the pain and just dealing with it doesn't make any sense. But tonight we're going to talk about the mind, the body, and the spirits, right? And just as much as we have to feed our body good nutrition, we have to feed our mind good nutrition. And when I say that, I mean feeding ourselves good, positive flow. Get away from the negativity. And I know some of us live in environments that it's a cesspool, meaning that it's just full, completely full of negativity every single minute. I know people even dread walking into their homes. And I don't understand that, because that's not the kind of guy that I was. And here I'm going to give up some of myself, that I've been the kind of guy that in any relationship, married or not, and I know that this will go contrary to Christian beliefs and all that kind of stuff, but the minute there becomes negativity, then a sensor goes off, because I know for my health, I have to stay away from negativity. Sensors go off, and I may go or take a break and step. Now look, I want to be honest with you. I've been the kind of guy that I want things my way and only my way, or it's me the highway. Oh, you could go, but if you don't go, then I'm going to go, because I can't deal with. I like things my way, and that's just how it's been all through my life, and that's just how. And so I've developed a pattern. So here's the give you who I am. If it doesn't go my way, I'm out. And I know some of you, you because the way you've interpreted the Bible or the way it's been interpreted to you, that's why I tell everybody you need to read it on your own. Because the way I read it, it don't say that you have to stay in a relationship that's bad and work it out. That's not what I hear. But if that's what you hear, then I need to urge you to find a way in order for you to find tranquility in it. I love the story of Tina Turner and being with Ike Turner. And then y'all seen that movie, What Does Love Have to Do with It? And that's what I say. What does love have to do with it if it's complete turmoil? And see, at the end of the day, you must stay happy. See, to me, your quest on earth in satisfying God is satisfying yourself. I read that. And I wish I was prepared to bring you that in terms of a Bible quote, because I know there's a lot of people that need quotes. But take care of your mind. Preserve it. Make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure the things that you want to accomplish and that you want to have out of life for you, your children, even your husband, if you're married, or your significant other. Write it down, put it somewhere, and read it and meditate on it. And that, when I say meditate, God knows. Prayer. Put prayer to it. That's all meditate means, is put prayer to it. And put it earnestly to it. When I say earnest, I mean make sure that you believe it as you say it. See, because, I know the cliche terms right now is going on about if you can see it, you can believe it, and so on. And I believe it. So earnestly believe that. See it and know it. See yourself in it. See your children with A's and B's. And tell them that you see them getting A's and B's. I mean, man, I don't have time to do that tonight. So that's the mind. And then the body, we got to take care of the body. Right? I mean, I have sickle cell, and I know that I'm going to make it to 100 and change. God willing. All right, so I'm not taking anything from God. Might have a whole different plan, and maybe He might even grant me my wish. But I do, God, just so you know, I only want to make it to 100 in a healthy manner. I always say a healthy 100. Right? I only want to be there in a healthy manner. So that in doing that, we got to do the things that we know. Even if you just go by the simple FDA's crazy dietitian, which you 5 fruits and vegetables every single day. You know, even that, which is probably no good. The nutrition factors in the foods today is almost zero, probably -0. That's why everybody, and I'm down in the South, everybody. Not everybody, but a great deal of people are way beyond themselves. Matter of fact, sitting down with my aunts today, I went to visit them after I left my parents, after cooking for my parents. I went to go see one of my older aunts, and all of them have some level of complications, and they're old, and they were telling me, and I'm not going to focus on them because they're in their 70s. They were telling me about some of their friends that are younger, in their 50s and 40s, that are having just as many aches and pains as they are. It's because, one, we've been conditioned ourselves to eat as poorly as we do, and you have to really get a hold of that. So get a hold of that. So when I jump right into, you know, spirits, and that's the drinking, and what you drink also is very important. I've been told statistically 2/3 of Americans are dehydrated. They walk around dehydrated. Water takes and being hydrated in the body. Remember, you know, we are made up mostly of water, so we have to make sure we drink plenty of water, and our organs function at their best, at their peak, being hydrated, being, you know, filled with water. So what, you have to pee all day? That's okay. It really is okay. So anyway, drink a lot of water. Watch the foods that you eat. The nutrition factors, be careful. I know it's more expensive to eat better foods, but it's worth it in the end. All right? Again, y'all, I mean, I want you to know before we end the show, I love you, and I really do. And I care immensely about everybody that's listening to this show. When you come to this show, I got a great deal of appreciation. Turn your friends and your family onto the show. I'm gonna get better sound equipment. I'm gonna get better intros and outros. This show is gonna just you'll be like what they say, you on the ground floor of this show. And that's true. You on the ground floor. You're gonna watch the miracle happen in real time. And it's gonna be a miracle. This last thing I wanted to talk about, the freaky sensation of the lottery is unbelievable. And I know this Latino brother just rocked it and hit it, and I'm so happy for him. But you know the chances of you hitting the lottery is like, you know, 1 in a bazillion, right? I mean, a gazillion, that's probably a better number. I mean, the likelihood of you, if you hitting it, is woo! I mean, it ain't real. So don't trick yourself and put your money in your stock into the lottery. I don't want you to do that. I mean, I would rather you put I would rather you actually put some time and effort into learning a new craft. Reinvent yourself. I would rather you do that rather than putting stock into the lottery. Now, look. I believe in luck. I believe that God blesses people with a tremendous amount of luck. So, if you want to do $1 a month or $1 a week, that's it. Because see, you don't need to do. If you really are lucky, and if God's going to really deliver you on that, matter of fact, if He really is going to deliver you on that, He will blow a lottery ticket into your car, and you wouldn't even know where it come from, and then you wind up hitting that number. That's the way. I mean, and I've had that kind of luck. God has definitely turned me on like that. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you very much for coming to the Haywood Barber Show. This is Haywood Barber, also known as the Harlem Heretic. They call me a heretic because I don't follow anybody's doctrine. I go get the information myself, and I let God resonate on my heart. I don't march to anybody's beat. I don't let nobody tell me this is the way it is just because that's bullshit.